Well, we're back again at the Big Bear Lake Performing Arts Center Theater, where tonight Dick Hardwick, great comedian, is going to entertain the crowd. And Dick was many years headliner of the Golden Horseshoe Theater at Disneyland. So we're waiting for him to come on, and he'll be on very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome comedian Dick Hardwick.
My name is Dick Hardwick. You want to have a little fun tonight? Say yeah! Yeah! Come on, just a little more energy in this room. Say yeah! Yeah! I feel the power. Can you feel it? Say yeah. Yeah! You want to enjoy yourself? Yeah! Get your hands in the air, give them a shake, everybody. Now put your hands on the people next to you and enjoy yourselves. Go ahead, go ahead. It's a fun, loving crowd. Knock, knock. Who's there? Yeah? See, we're having fun now. That's what we're here for. Grab your cheeks like this, grab your cheeks. Now here, man, here on your face. I can see that you're listening. I'm a firm believer we have things locked in our head. You might not even know that they're there, and I'm going to try a little experiment tonight. There she goes, just a walking down the street singing. A one for money, two for show. She wore an itsy bitsy teeny wee. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. Ting, tang, walla, ting, tang. Isn't this weird? Can you believe ting, tang, walla, walla, bing bang is taking up brain space in your head? There'll come a day when you won't even know your own name. Someone will go, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. You say, well, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing bang. Where's the front door? I'm out of here. That's what's fun about being a comic. You can take things that are familiar to the audience, and you turn them around, you make them a little strange, a little weird, hopefully funny. Old MacDonald had a farm. And on that farm he had a dog that stuttered. With a bark here and woof there. Here, get growling, arf, Old MacDonald had a farm. Come on. And on that farm he had an ant. With a old MacDonald had a... I've lost this half of the room now, I can't believe it. Do you think about stuff like that? Think about stuff like that. Like you pull up to a traffic light, there's a weird guy standing on the corner, but you won't lock your door because you're afraid he'll see you do it. You don't want him to think you think he's a weird guy, even if he's got murder tattooed across his forehead. Get up in the morning and go to put on your clothes, you accidentally hang your little toe in the elastic band, you do that underpants for a while. There should be music for that, don't you think? And why is it when you walk outside, your hands will always do this if it's raining? You never consciously tell your hands to do that. They do it all by themselves. You know why? Because there's no hair on your hands. See, the head should be the first thing to feel the rain. Can't, because there's hair up there. So that's the hands to check it out. Hands go, okay? That's why bald guys walk out and go, yep, it's raining. My grandfather was totally bald. We bought him a blue turtleneck sweater. He put it on. He looked like a band roll-on stick. My grandparents celebrated their 65th wedding anniversary. It was so sweet. They finally made it. Grandpa actually went out and bought a present, wrapped it up, wasn't a real good job, but he wrapped it up just the same. And he came in the house, and he walked up to Grandma, handed her the present, and he said, "Happy anniversary, honey. What do you want to do now?" She said, "Let's run upstairs and make love." Grandpa said, "I can't do both." Grandma's saying the doctor gets some Viagra to keep him from rolling out of bed at night. She calls it nature's little kickstand. Grandma was starting to lose her hearing. Grandpa didn't know what to do, so he went to the doctor. The doctor said, if you can find out about what distance she's losing her hearing, we'll make her a little hearing aid. Nobody will know the difference. So he came in through the front door, and you could see Grandmother in the back cooking one of those delicious meals. She was standing at the stove, so she didn't even hear him coming through the front door. So he yelled to her from the front, honey, I'm home. What's for dinner? Nothing. Walked in the living room. Honey, I'm home. What's for dinner? Nothing. Walked in the hallway. Honey, I'm home. What's for dinner? Nothing. Walked into the kitchen, turned Grandma around, looked at her between the eyes, and said, I'm home. What's for dinner? Grandma said, for the 4th time, you deaf old poop, chicken! Boy, this is a good crowd tonight. You got any fishermen out there? Yeah! Is the fishing tournament going on? Yeah. Can you catch trout out there? Yeah. Can you catch trout? Bass, bluegill, crappie? I'm from the Midwest, and we catch crappie. I like the way it sounds, crappie. What do you fish for, then? Crappie? I'm from Indiana. We got a bunch from the Midwest. Are you from Indiana? Yeah? Let me make you feel at home. Not much to do in Indiana. Just dig around back there. Whereabouts in Indiana are you from? I'm sorry? Well, I heard you. I was just sorry. I'm from Greencastle, Indiana. You ever heard of that? It's a land of opportunity if you're a tractor. No, I'm proud to be from Indiana. I always kid everybody from Indiana. You have somebody from Indiana. Say, you from around here? They go, no. Say, you lived here your whole life? They say, not yet. We make a sound in Indiana most folks in California have never heard. That sound is... I want us all to do that tonight together. You ready? Does that feel good? That's the sound of relaxation. When you relax your shoulders, drop 2 inches, force your diaphragm up on your lungs. It comes up. And then it's a little easier to dig around back there because there's not much to do in Indiana to dig around back there. My dad did that one Sunday and went, oh, there's a channel change. There's one that was right back there. But you have an absolute right phone up your attorney. You might go, come on, man, don't look so sad. There's good news, big shit. If the bad, you can't afford an attorney, you see. We're going to hire that dude for free. Thank you. How many folks from California? How many native Californians are here? I want to make you feel at home. You know, with plastic surgery nowadays in California, you can't tell who's ugly or not anymore. You have to look at their kids. I know a guy's had so many facelifts, every time he lifts his leg, his mouth flies open. That's too much surgery. I was just out in Las Vegas working with Johnny Mathis. We got any Johnny Mathis fans out there? I love Johnny Mathis. He's a great guy. Sings like a bird. They always give me my room. A suite, had towels so fluffy I couldn't get my suitcase closed. I mean, this was nice. First class. Not much of a gambler. Tried it one afternoon. After half an hour, I decided to stop and count my money. I'll be doggone if I hadn't broke totally even. I looked up. I'd been playing a change machine. My wife was up 10,000 on the ATM at one point. But there's some weird people in those casinos. I bet you've seen them if you've been in the casinos. This guy came up to me. He looked a little disheveled. Kind of felt sorry for him. He said, I'm hungry. I need $5 to eat. I said, what? He said, I'm hungry. I need $5 to eat. I said, how do I know if I give you the $5 you won't gamble the money away? He said, no, I got my gambling money. Got a great deal on the car last week, 0% financing. Only had to put down 100%. But this was a special edition designed by Fredericks of Hollywood. Did you hear about this? Oh yeah, leather shoulder harnesses, crotchless seat covers. And in a head-on collision, instead of an airbag blowing up, clean underwear shooting up on your legs. Does not help in the accident, but your mom's proud of you in the hospital, see. The Hoosiers got that. They built a Fredericks of Hollywood back in Indiana. My brother called me up and said, they just built a Fredericks up there in Indianapolis. I said, really? You been up there yet? He went, mm-hmm. I said, what'd you get? He said, bought me some edible underwear. I said, really? What flavor did you get? He said, biscuits and gravy. He said, they're all out of corn on the cob. Guy said, I'll put them in a sack for you. He said, nope, I'll eat them on the way home. Thank you. Have you got a brother back in Indiana like that? Takes my brother an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes. You know the kind of guy I'm talking about? You ask him if the sun came up in the east or the west, he'd go, I'm not from around here. You can tell when their little kids are going to be a little strange when they grow up. I checked him out one time. I said, look at that dog with one eye. He went, okay. You believe that? So I took him. Oh boy. So I took him to the eye doctor. The eye doctor said, put your hand over your eye. He went, okay. I said, no, cup it around your eye. He went, all right. The doctor shook his head, went out and got a paper sack, ripped a little eye hole in the paper sack, put the paper sack over my brother's head. He righted the sack up so that eye was just staring out of that ragged hole. I looked in and I could see a tear coming down from his eyelid. I said, what's the matter? He said, I wanted wire frames. I bought him a puzzle for Christmas. He called me up 2 weeks later. He said, I got the puzzle put together. I said, good. He said, you ought to be proud of me. It said 4 to 6 years on the side of the box. I bought him a cell phone so he could have it in the car with him. I called him up one day and I said, hey, I'm watching the TV and there's an idiot going the wrong way in the freeway, so be careful. He said, there's hundreds of them out here. He said he bought a new thermos. I said, what was wrong with the old one? He said, well, this one keeps things hot and things cold. I said, really? What do you got in there? He said, some coffee, 2-3 popsicles, you know.
That's funny.
He shops at Walmart. You ever been to a Walmart? Do they have Walmart up here? No, you have to go down to that. There should be. I go to Walmart to feel thin and smart. Now think about that, folks. I don't care what you look like. It doesn't take long before you're going, I don't look like that over there. Just think how many polyesters died to cover that over there. That's pretty crazy. Where else are you going to find contraceptive foam next to Cheese Whiz? Right there at Walmart. Well, my brother's kind of crazy, as I said, but he's about 6'5". He's about 125 pounds, so he's basically transparent. You get this picture? He bought a Speedo bathing suit. You know what those are? Those tiny spandex things so tight you can tell what religion the guy is. I can wait as long as it takes for it. I told my brother, I said, you come out to California with that little Speedo, go down to the beach, you're going to look a little wimpy. He said, no, got me an Idaho potato. I'm going to take it down there. He showed me a Polaroid picture the next day of himself. I said, you know, you ought to put that in the front next time you do this. The only thing you're attracting here is some seagulls, it looks like to me. Well, when we were youngsters back in Indiana, we didn't have much money, but we had a lot of love between the three brothers, my sister, and my mom and dad. Everybody played musical instruments. And the first instrument I ever learned how to play was something I could carry in my pocket called a juice harp. See if you've ever heard one of these before. Just half If a man walks through the woods, he speaks, but his wife's not there to hear him. Is he still wrong? You know what whales do after the mating season? Smoked salmon. The invisible man married the invisible woman. The kids weren't much to look at either. Did you know if you eat enough bran, you'll eventually pass wicker furniture? How about that? Duck walks in the bar. Said, "Guy grapes?" "No, we ain't got no grapes in here." Duck walks back in the bar. Said, "Guy grapes?" He said, "No, we ain't got no grapes in here." Duck walks back in the bar. Said, "Guy grapes?" He said, "No, we don't have any grapes. You don't get out of my bar, I'll nail your little wet feet to this floor." Duck said, "Guy nails?" Bartender said, "No." Duck said, "Guy grapes?" These are dumb, but they're funny, aren't they? 65-year-old couple laying in bed. He slowly ran his hand up her arm across her shoulder, gently down her back, and then he pulled away. She said, "Why'd you stop?" He said, "I found the remote." Guy walks into the clubhouse, locker room, sets his golf clubs down. Cell phone rings, he picks up. "Hello? Oh, hi, honey. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're Neiman Marcus? Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and get the fur. I don't care. If you want it, you can have it. Yeah. Right. And then you're going to go, what, the Mercedes? Yeah. We'll get the S-Class and make sure that, it's got all the bells and whistles. Okay. And the house? Oh, yeah, yeah. What, $3 million? Put 3.5. Make sure we get it, okay? I love you. I'll see you in a little bit. Whose cell phone is this? They invented a golf ball. If it gets within 3 inches of the pin, it'll go ahead and roll on in the hole. They don't recommend carrying it in your back pocket. When I was a little kid, I was required to come to school and recite a fairy tale without reading it out of the book. It was the first big piece of memorization that they wanted us to do. Well, I always had my brothers and my sister read to me because it was just easier for me to memorize than it was to read. It was really difficult for me to read. I didn't know I was dyslexic, and I was processing the information differently. So rather than have them read to me, I took the book home and I picked out a fairy tale and I learned it cold. And I came to school and I got an A+ because my fairy tale came out a little different than the other students. Mine sounded like this.